Sussy stuff. It is Georgia here to go over the first round of March Madness with y'all. I would like to retract all statements of the SEC being the best basketball conference. Anytime I said that in the past, I wasn't being honest. Because we've been a mess. This has been absolutely embarrassing. Mississippi State lost to Baylor. Vandy lost to St. Mary's in a close game, 59-56. Missouri lost to Drake. Georgia lost to Gonzaga, and Oklahoma lost to UConn. So, I will say that those are some of our medium to lower tier SEC teams, basketball wise. So I'm disappointed in them that they lost, but I mean, our big dogs are still alive. So I still retract my statement. I think we were just a little bit overhyped about how basketball was going. I do not think that we were the best conference this year, and I think that it might have put a little bit of fuel into everyone else to kind of prove everyone wrong. Anyways, let's go over the winners because that's what we want to focus on. We want to focus on the winners. Who's doing good for the SEC? So Auburn versus Alabama State. Auburn won 83-63. Obviously, Auburn's going to go a lot further in this tournament than they did last year. Miles Kelly had 7 3-pointers. He scored 23 points. Janai Broom added 14 points and 11 rebounds. Bruce Pearl wasn't happy with Auburn's performance, saying that they didn't play sharp. And I do actually kind of agree with that statement. Obviously, you're not going to go against the coach's statement, but I do agree. I think that they're definitely going to have to focus more and play cleaner to keep going in this tournament. The Tigers did out rebound Alabama State, and they did shoot for 45%. They'll face Creighton next, and judging on how the crowd reacted during this game, a lot of people wanting Alabama State to win. I know that people are really hoping for an upset, and that kind of just comes in the territory of being the number one team. So everyone is rooting against Auburn, and I think that's good for them. I think that that kind of fuels them a little bit to be the bad guy, be the guy that everyone hates, and keep winning these games. Next, we'll go to Tennessee versus Wofford Terriers. First, I'm obsessed with the Terriers logo. I want that logo. I don't know what I would use it for, but it's just so cute. This definitely looked like an effortless game from Tennessee. Chaz Lanier has just been on absolute fire these last few games. He had 29 points in his NCAA debut. Zakai Ziegler, who we know I absolutely love, had 12 points and 12 assists, setting the single season record for assists in the SEC. And Tennessee outscored Rufford. I cannot say that, y'all. Wolford. Wolford? Wolford. I don't know. I'm from the South. Tennessee outscored Wolford 14-0 off of 11 turnovers. I'm so sorry at how I pronounce that, but my voice just can't do it. Anyway, let's go to the next game. The Aggies, Texas A&M versus Yale. 80-71, the Aggies won. Pharrell Payne had a career high of 25 points and 10 rebounds. How awesome is it to have that in, the first round of the March Madness? The Aggies are just a more athletic team than Yale and is also one of the best rebounding teams in the country. I really don't think that Yale had a chance. I also don't think, which if I might be wrong about this, but I don't think that Ivy League schools use NIL. I could be wrong. But I think because they don't use NIL, they don't get the same talent as these other schools. And not to say that Yale doesn't have a talented team. I mean, they got to the tournament, but they don't have the athleticism as the Aggies do. The Aggies defense looked incredible, completely clogging up the offense basically at midcourt for Yale. And I just about I think 8:35 left in the game. Yale did cut their deficit to 6. And it did kind of look possible for them to win. Like there was a glimmer of hope. But then the Aggies were able to go on a 9-0 run and kind of shut that down really fast. Texas A&M faces Michigan today. I do like their odds in that game. I do think the Aggies will pull out against Michigan. Then we have Arkansas versus Kansas. Arkansas won 79-72. Coach Cal got his first March Madness win with Arkansas. If you haven't been down here and watched any of our videos before, I love Coach Cal. I was not a Kentucky fan, but I just love him as a person. Jonas Adu scored 22 points. John L. Davis added 18 points and has some crucial free throws in that at the end of that game. The second half didn't look super great for the Razorbacks, but they did pull through to win. They will face number 2 seed St. John's next, and I don't personally see them winning this game, but I would love for them to. I would love that for Coach Cal. I am interested to see if Arkansas can keep this up against St. John's. They definitely are going to have to play a lot better than their second half that they played against Kansas. It'll be interesting. I'm excited. I mean, it's madness. It's March Madness. So we'll see what happens. The next game we'll go to is Florida versus Norfolk State. Florida won 95-69. I feel like this was a no brainer kind of game. They out rebounded. They shot at 48% field goal and 31% from the 3-point line. Walter Clayton Jr. scored 23 points. Elijah Martin scored 17. Alex Condon scored 12. The Gators made 18 of their first 30 shots and put this game to bed pretty early. Like, I'll be honest, I was just like, I'm gonna flip to something else because I knew they were gonna win this game. Um, but yeah, I mean, Florida's gonna have a great run. I see a national championship in their future, like a little. What are those things called? What thanks? What are those people called? Fortune tellers. I see a national championship in your future. Anyways, let's go to the next game. We had Alabama versus Robert Morris. Now, if you don't know, I am an Alabama fan. Just to put that clearly on here, I really wanted them to win a national championship this year, but playing like this, it's not going to happen. The Colonials really brought it to the Crimson Tide. I mean, I was holding my breath. I was holding my breath like basically the whole game. I do want to shout out from Robert Morris, Marion Dickerson. I was very impressed with his playing. He's from Robert Morris. He's from Cleveland, Ohio, which was where the game was playing, and they did kind of tell his story. And sometimes it sucks being a girl and watching and loving sports so much because you do get really impacted by the stories that they tell. And it just made me really sad to see him when he fouled out in the very end because he played really hard. He was definitely critical for Robert Morris. He was the game, and he was entertaining as well. I still wanted him to lose, but it just sucks seeing him upset about losing. But he had an incredible game, and I hope he knows that. I hope he knows that he was incredible. Anyways, let's go to Alabama. Clifford Amore had a season high of 17 points on 8 for 8, mostly dunks. Definitely using his height to his advantage, who's, I think, a lot taller than Robert Morris's team. There's obviously a sense of urgency in the second half of this game. Mark Sears scored 19 of his 22 points in the second half. So he really turned it on in the second half of, hey, if I don't do this, we're going home. The game got so bad that Grant Nelson, who had obviously planned to sit the whole game because of a knee injury, basically said, "Put me in, coach. Like, we can't go home." Grant did change the game in the momentum, and he got 5 points and 3 rebounds in the 7 minutes that he played. He Alabama didn't like they panicked, but they didn't panic. It was more of we've got to get this done. It wasn't a oh my gosh, we're about to lose kind of deal. It was we gotta grind this out. And I think that's what really saved them is they were just playing each play. Every time they had the ball, it was we're gonna like we gotta do this. We've got to finish this or we are going home. And putting Grant in definitely changed the game. And I think it's very obvious that they need him to play. So hopefully he will continue to be healthy throughout this tournament. Next game we're going to go over is Ole Miss versus UNC. It was a crazy game. Ole Miss won 71-64, but they let North Carolina come back from a 22 point deficit. 22 points. Sean Padula sank a three-pointer with 52.8 seconds left. He also made two free throws to seal the victory. They definitely out physicaled. Is that a word? I don't know. But I'm gonna use it. They definitely out physicaled the Tar Heels in the first half, and after halftime, the Tar Heels really gave it to them in the second half. They're gonna have to play a lot cleaner and more consistent to keep going in this tournament. I think this is great for the Rebels though, and hopefully they can build on this momentum. Then we had Kentucky versus Troy, 76-57. Otega Owe scored 20 points, 8 assists, and 6 rebounds. I love watching him play. He's probably my favorite player on the Kentucky team. Lamont Butler, who sat out of the SEC tournament, I think he got injured with Oklahoma. I'm not going to fact check that one. Oh well. With an injury, he played, which is a really good sign. Because he is a key to this team. They definitely need him healthy. They definitely need him playing at 100%. Kentucky led 25-24 with 3 minutes left in the first half, and then pulled away to have a very impressive win. So those are the winners of the SEC. Hopefully we can keep winning. Hopefully these teams can build on some momentum of, hey, we passed the first round. We can do this. We've got this. Who do you think is going to keep succeeding and who do you think is going to fall flat? Let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching. Y'all have a great day. Bye.